The Porsche 917/30 Spyder is not just another race car. It is widely regarded as the most dominant racing machine of the 1970s, and perhaps one of the most powerful sports cars ever built. Designed specifically for the Can-Am Championship in North America, the 917/30 was Porsche's answer to unlimited racing, where few rules restricted power, aerodynamics, or design. When Porsche entered the Can-Am series, they faced brutal competition from McLaren and other American teams. The 917/30 changed everything. With sheer engineering brilliance, Porsche created a car that was so powerful and dominant that it essentially forced rule changes because nothing else could keep up. The 917/30 wasn't just about winning races. It was about rewriting what was possible in motorsport. Even today, more than 5 decades later, it remains legendary among collectors, engineers, and racing enthusiasts. At first glance, the Porsche 917/30 Spyder looks like a low, wide, and menacing machine built purely for speed. Its body was designed with one goal in mind: maximum aerodynamic efficiency. Unlike the closed-cockpit 917,000 Sierra Leone and Leonsmans cars, the 917/30 featured an open-top Spyder body, which reduced weight and drag. The long, flat nose with integrated spoilers and the massive rear wing provided both stability and downforce at the extreme speeds it could achieve. Every curve, scoop, and vent on the 917/30 was engineered to channel air for cooling, grip, and performance. The massive tires sat under exaggerated fender flares, emphasizing its brutal stance. This wasn't a car designed for beauty. It was designed to crush competition. Yet, in its own way, the 917/30 Spyder became one of the most iconic Porsche designs, embodying raw speed and dominance. Sitting inside the Porsche 917/30 Spyder was an experience unlike anything else. The cockpit was bare and functional with exposed aluminum, a simple steering wheel, a few gauges, and very little comfort. This was a racing tool, not a luxury car. Drivers described the 917/30 as both terrifying and exhilarating. With over 1,100 horsepower on tap in qualifying trim, controlling the car required immense skill and bravery. The turbochargers delivered brutal power surges, making throttle control extremely sensitive. Despite the overwhelming power, the chassis was incredibly balanced. Porsche's engineers managed to design suspension and aerodynamics that gave the car surprising stability. Still, with so much horsepower, even the most experienced drivers knew that mistakes could be deadly. Mark Donohue, the most famous driver of the 917/30, once described it as a monster you had to respect. Yet, in his hands, the car became unbeatable. At the heart of the Porsche 917/30 Spyder was its legendary 5.4-liter, twin-turbocharged flat 12 engine. This engine was capable of producing anywhere between 1,100 and 1,580 horsepower, depending on the boost settings. For the early 1970s, these numbers were absolutely insane. No other racing car at the time came close to such power. Even today, the 917/30 stands as one of the most powerful racing cars ever built. Performance figures were astonishing. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 62 miles per hour, in under 2 seconds. Top speed well over 380 kilometers per hour, 236 miles per hour. Brutal acceleration at any speed thanks to turbo power. But beyond raw speed, the 917/30 was reliable, something many turbocharged race cars struggled with. Porsche's engineering ensured it could dominate not just one lap, but an entire race. The Porsche 917/30 entered the Can-Am Championship in 1973, driven by Mark Donohue for Penske Racing. The results were nothing short of legendary. The car won 6 out of 8 races that season, completely outclassing every rival on the grid. Its dominance was so absolute that it effectively killed the Can-Am series. Other manufacturers simply couldn't compete with the Porsche's power, speed, and reliability. After 1973, rule changes and rising costs led to the decline of the championship. The 917/30 became a motorsport legend, not only for its victories but for the way it changed racing forever. Mark Donohue even set a closed-course speed record in 1975, driving a 917/30 to an average speed of 221 miles per hour, 355 kilometers per hour, at Talladega Speedway, a record that stood for years. Today, only a handful of 917/30s exist, making them some of the most valuable and historically significant racing cars ever built. The Porsche 917/30 Spyder was more than a race car. It was a revolution. With over 1,100 horsepower, cutting-edge aerodynamics, and Porsche's engineering mastery, it became the ultimate weapon of the Can-Am series. Its dominance was so complete that it forced the racing world to rethink regulations, proving that technology and power had to be balanced with competition. Today, the 917/30 is remembered as the most powerful and dominant car of its era, a machine that pushed the boundaries of what was possible in motorsport. For collectors, historians, and Porsche fans, it remains the holy grail of racing legends. The Porsche 917/30 Spyder wasn't just fast, it was untouchable. And in the history of racing, that's what makes it truly immortal.